Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Papal States campaign. Last time around, we were consolidating our positions and defending ourselves against a attack by the French at Venice. And since then, I have kind of moved out some troops here and there to kind of chase down these troops that were behind our lines, and that is all done. So what we're trying today is, I note that there is a possibility, if I take this army up through here, through this Tiroler region, there's a smaller army here, and there's an even smaller one in Bavaria, so sort of push straight through, splitting the French in two. And this is a great network for the French right here. It could be that once I actually take Bavaria, we will hand it over to the Prussians, and hopefully they can try and keep it, at least for a little while. They probably can keep it better than I can, and so I can retreat back down. But I think that's one of the plans. Second plan, and probably more likely to happen, is we've got Napoleon right here, within striking distance of Paris. So we gotta keep that in mind. And with that in mind, we need to protect Paris. However, what I want to do is, I don't want to be on the defensive too long. We need to keep capturing territories. And currently the French are coming out at us. And we want to try and break this down. I was planning earlier episode to go ahead and break through, land an army here, and then march with the Prussians together on Brussels. However, there was a French navy here. I thought it was French troops, but it's a French navy, and it's a strong French navy. Even one of these ships could take on my entire fleet. So I've been waiting for the British to kind of take them down, but they haven't. And so, as I do a few enters, I think 3 or 2, 3 end turns, Napoleon turns up, and the plan kind of falters. Now, what I have in mind here is we're going to do a little bit of switcheroo. So, Pietro is going to take his army, and he's going to take his army back to Paris to defend that. No, not Pietro, I mean Pompeo Gambrelli is going to take his army back to Paris, and Pietro is going to attack Brussels. So we're going to have the Battle of Brussels and hopefully take that. That's one area that I probably could hand over to the Prussians, or we could raise Belgium if that's possible, or whatever nation we're able to raise through there. And then we'll anticipate Napoleon's attack and try his attempt at reconquering Paris. But that's the plan anyways. So we're going to start off here with Pietro marching and attacking Brussels. So there's quite a big army, similar size to us. However, a lot of it is just Belgian garrison. That is not much better than my militia. And then we have some light infantry, Belgian grenadiers. We got German line infantry, cuirassiers, dragoons. Dragoons pretty dangerous. French cannons are always dangerous, but I think we can handle it. So we're gonna do that battle, but also you're gonna go ahead and march back. Now that obviously means that this is kind of left open for Napoleon to conquer it, but I think Napoleon is probably looking at going directly to Paris. And then of course, as I said, we have this plan right here going through. And so, as I mentioned in the last episode, we got a new member, Andrew, I believe. And so I'm thinking of giving him a battery, and I'm gonna add it to the Papal States army. So the cannon that got destroyed in last episode, this one, I'm gonna rename it Battery A. A is in Andrew, right? So that makes sense. for the next series, I will try to hash out, probably try and get a better system for how to do this, and, you know, figure out how people best could request regiments and stuff like that. But for this is for how it is right now, and so far no one has complained. So that's that. So this battery will be renamed into Battery A. With that, let's go ahead and have ourselves a battle against the Belgians. And so, here's my battle plan. So we've got basically 2 brigades of infantry. This one right here, we're going to focus in. As the enemy is kind of split up with the village splitting their army, I feel like one side is more vulnerable than the other, and since I've got this curve, it's better to attack through here and through the open ground. So I will have the Grenadiers be leading this, and then 4 infantry coming up behind. They're supported by 12 pounders, and then the Hussars will swing around like that. In case it's needed in the center, I've got the Dragoons ready to pounce forward, and then to make sure that we hold the enemy in place while the axe kind of swings in, we got the 2nd Brigade of 5 infantry ready to march up and take position on this high ground. If they in turn are attacked from this side, then I've got the Guard Cavalry. The first... no, that's a Hussar unit. What are they doing? That's wrong. I've accidentally put the wrong unit at the wrong place. So 1st Torino and 2nd Louis is going to move then to counter that flank. And then we got the howitzers back here. With that said, let's go ahead and start. And we're going to start by ordering an advance of this line, and then an advance of this line. So we'll have the troops advance. Let's go ahead and start barrage with the 12 pounders, and then we will get the hussars to quickly go and ready themselves in the flank there. We'll have the dragoons move forward. Right now the howitzers have nothing to fire at, but that's probably going to change as the enemy will be moving towards us. Currently the enemy cavalry is moving decisively to this flank. Okay, their cavalry is attacking. I will set 1 unit a square. The grenadiers will quickly march to hold there. Let's see here, the howitzers, they do reach about the village. Okay, this line is fine then. I just needed to speed up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna drop the square. We are gonna be able to get prepared lines against the enemy. 12 pounder, there's a risk now that I'm shooting our own troops, so I will continue to order them to fire at the troops further back. Looks good, and now the enemy cavalry is riding into the grenadiers. Should soon open fire. Hopefully 2nd unit here, 5th Holtz, can open fire and break them. Got some troops going through the village. We got our howitzers. The thing is, the enemy is going to try and close in on our line, so I'm going to order my howitzers to constantly be firing on one place in the ground. There's kind of too many enemy infantry coming in on this side, so we might need more cavalry over here. And since the enemy cavalry attack was seen off over here and the other unit was nowhere to be seen, I will order the dragoons to aid that side instead. There was a few units inside the woods. I'll order the advance now of the rest of the line. Can order hussars forward. Right, so the battle is commencing over here. I'm gonna redirect the howitzers to kind of focus here. The thing is though, as I said, the enemy infantry is gonna get closer and closer and closer, and as they get closer, they will surely drag this howitzer fire into our own lines, which is not going to be great. Currently there is a light unit in here that's going to do a lot of damage, so I'm going to move my general up and he's going to support that. But we also have the two grenadiers that's going to come in around there, and then an extra line infantry unit. Oh, we managed to snag on, the hussars managed to snag on to the enemy over here. The 12, as I'm calling in a cavalry charge over here, the 12 pounders will hold fire for now. Okay, the enemy is kind of continuously moving into that area, so we'll order the cavalry out to ready themselves for that attack. The cuirassiers are attacking the grenadiers, which is good. That's the strongest units they could go after, so that's definitely good. The hussars will pull back, will hold them back until they're needed to be pushing in through that side. Alright, the line is doing well. As they're kind of broken up here, before they are able to organize themselves in a better way, I want the cavalry now to sweep in. So we're going to get them at all sides here, especially since it is grenadiers. I don't want them to organize themselves. They managed to get off a few shots, but they actually only shot one cavalry trooper. Now they've ended up pretty well organized here, in fact. But as the third unit now comes in through the flank, oh, the general is needed over here instead. This unit is faltering under the attack of the enemy.
Sir! Sir! Our general is under attack!
Okay, I'm a little bit worried here because there's a lot of units coming in here. Okay, they did break. That's not good, but at the same time the cavalry was able to break their part and then hopefully go through here. The general coming through to rally. What I'm going to do is, since they are getting swarmed by the enemy, I'm going to go ahead and rally, and we're going to go ahead and inspire this unit, which is going to be brought in a bayonet charge to try and push the enemy back. Grenadiers will definitely not follow here. They will try instead move back. Okay, this hussar is really punched through the line. My cavalry is a bit holed up here, but it all kind of looks good. Fifth Holt has been had one hell of a fight here, and they're still holding on. And my bloody hussars have managed to get in, but I think they're needed more over here. Okay, my cavalry is really pushing through here, hopefully. Okay, this line infantry unit really doesn't like its situation, but the hussar is not listening to my orders.
Our men are running, sir.
It's going after a completely different unit. Okay, howitzers hold fire. You are not being able to shoot at anything, really. Okay, we've got another Inspire ready to set up. So I want to inspire my Guard Cavalry, which are now fighting against the St. George. Let's see which one is on the front there. Hopefully you will be able to fire pretty soon. Okay, most of the enemy here is broken, so we'll order a general advance. My cavalry will, the hussars will go after these that are rallying. It's a tough fight here. But these guys, I don't think I ordered them to make a longer line, but they did anyway, so maybe I did. That is going to be useful though, as I need to shoot these guys down. The Hussars able to break up the enemy as they're trying to rally. And now we're just looking at the final part of the battle here, where the Guard Dragoons, or not my Guard Dragoons, my Guard Cavalry, it's fighting. There we go. Now get rid of those bloody howitzers, because they're blowing my troops to smithereens. And then I'm just going to order all the infantry and the grenadiers to walk straight through this. To follow up and get rid of the enemy. And that's it. The last bit of the battle is the howitzer. It was, damn, point blank on that cavalry trooper. Why don't you follow the St. George? And there we have it. We have victory. It's a unit that's rallying here. It's a grenadier unit in the middle of town, but a single unit against my entire army. That is not going to change the outcome of this battle. So, I will call this a victory. the battle dragged on for a lot longer than I thought. There was some remnant units that kept coming back, so I had to play it for quite a while. But eventually, we won, and we lost 1,600 men compared to 5,000 of the enemy. So the entire garrison of the enemy force was killed. I still have 3,500 men. Highest kills goes to the Hussars, followed by a line infantry regiment, followed by one of the guard cavalry units. They got 400, followed by line, and so on. Since it's gained chevron, it would be then... Well, it's hard to tell because now both of them have. But let's see, remaining 79, so it was the secondary guard unit. But there we have that. Belgium is now under our control, and you know what? I'd rather go ahead and liberate it as its own nation. Then I don't have to worry about it anymore, because, well, I cannot garrison anything. If any of the other great powers see fit to kill the Belgians, then that's on them. I'm not going to defend them, unfortunately, for Belgium. But I have temporarily released them as their own nation. Let's see how long they last. Let's go ahead and end turn and see if Napoleon wants to attack us. Napoleon did in fact not attack. He instead ran and hid in this forest right here, in Alsace-Lorraine, which was kind of odd. Pierre is now moved over here. And we've got supply depot in France. We're going to continue building on that. Hopefully we'll be able to... as soon as this depot is ready, I will hand this over to Bretagne. Wonderful. And also, the British Navy finally sunk the enemy navy here, which opens up for me to use them, but now it's way too late to even use my navy in that fashion. So there's no point really in having them here. More so than maybe pick up troops in an attempt to retreat from this area. But right now it feels like we're more likely to use this navy down in the Mediterranean, as we would move to try and attack back here down here again, to try and reconquer those areas. So I will send the navy back home. We'll send it somewhere safe. With now my flank secure, with Belgium now controlling this area, that means that I can concentrate my armies around Reims in the Picardie-Champagne region. We will coordinate our attack and then move forward in force on Strasbourg, the fort Strasbourg. First, we must defeat Rodrigue whatever, this guy. And as that is happening, we're moving in here. I'm sure just the A1 battery. Andrew 1 battery. Since I get pretty good what's it called? Replenishment here, we will stay in this region to replenish, because I won't be able to get the entire army here immediately. So we'll hold out on that. This section will join them as soon as possible. Probably first attack the supply depot. Actually, no, we'll bypass that. I will need that once I've taken this. And with this, I want to see if I can get the these bastards to go ahead and declare war on France again. Maybe I should see if I can force them to become my protectorate. Like, how much would I have to pay them, do you think, for them to be my vassal? We can see. Become protectorate. It's probably going to be a lot So let's start with 125,000. They are not interested in that, become protectorate. Now I'm gonna offer them instead 225,000 to become protectorate. They do not agree to that. My final offer will be 300,000. Not forget to add become protectorate. And no, they do not. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. We of course need to set up trade with the sorry ass Belgians. And I'm gonna hand over a lot of technology so they at least have a fighting chance. Abolish slavery. Giving that to Belgians is super important. We'll get to that later, why that is super important. Why we do not want the Belgians to conduct slavery. We certainly don't. Alright, wonderful. The Belgians' historical grievance with the papacy is apparently minus 64. I don't know why they hate me, but they do. Here I am, slowly releasing the Catholic world from revolutionary tyranny, and they all hate me. Why, oh why do you hate me so? Right, I kind of feel like there's a battle brewing here, so I think we will end the video right here. The last one was a bit long. I'm trying to go for 30 minutes, so I think this one, currently, is probably within the 30-minute mark. What I will do is I will do end turns off camera, and I will forward my advance of these troops closer to the bridge here, trying to hold that as our point, or a forward point of defense. Now the French are sending one unit here, which I don't really like. So I'm kind of thinking this army does have a lot of cavalry. No, it's not this one. It's Pietro's army, has a lot of cavalry. Because it's got 5 units of cavalry. I could possibly see about detaching 2 units of cavalry from this. And having that together with the general that I've currently got stationed in Rome. And they would go ahead and take down armies like this. But anyways, what we're trying to build for next episode is that the Papal States army will be moving to take the Tyrol region, I think. Although I will end up on the doorstep of this area, which has a lot of troops. Alternatively, what I could do is actually have this army attack Zagreb, Croatia. In which case, I could possibly re-establish the Austrians. And we could have the Papal States army, or the Papal States Guard, instead go on a rampage continuing down through here, adding Belgrade to the Austrians, then go ahead, release the Greeks as their own nation, give Constantinople to the Greeks, go back up here, aid the Russians here so the Russians can come in. But yeah, these are all speculations on what's to come. Anyways, you know what? With this said, I will say as I always say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.